As the pandemic restrictions are lifting, we are getting an opportunity to start traveling again. We can get outside, visit our family and friends, and start booking those vacations that we have been dreaming about. But before you hit the road, you may need a quick refresher on how to follow a therapeutic diet like the Wahls Protocol while on the road. So grab your passport, let me be your tour guide on this journey. My name is Aline Brennan. I am a certified nutrition coach and chef specializing in the Wahls Protocol. I am a fellow Wahls warrior. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS in 2016 and also had decades of debilitating migraines that I have successfully addressed through diet and lifestyle. So my therapeutic diet is super important to me. And as much as I would love to throw it to the wind as I go on a vacation, I know it is the very thing that allowed me to feel good enough to book a vacation. So I certainly can't take a vacation from my therapeutic diet. And it's important that you have the same mindset as well. While it may be tempting to have a little bite here or a little cheat there, Dr. Wahls reminds us that one cheat could have irreversible damage, and we certainly don't want to be feeling symptomatic while on a trip. So, first things first, we need to plan our trip appropriately. And that starts with communicating with your family and friends or whomever your travel buddies are. Who's ever traveling with you needs to be aware of the importance of the nutrition protocol that you're following. We can't assume that they know just because we follow it at home means that we're going to follow it on the road. So it's important to sit down and have a conversation with them and let them know that you need to stay just as compliant while on vacation or traveling as you do when you are home. This is a form of medicine for you. And just as you wouldn't go off a prescription medication, you can't go off your food prescription. So making sure that they are aware, making no assumptions that they know this in advance, filling them in, and really getting their buy-in of supporting you while on this journey here. So certainly giving them the heads up, but definitely if you're staying with family or friends, you want to call the host ahead of time and give them a heads up as well. Now, a few tips with this conversation. It doesn't need to be a lengthy, drawn-out conversation. You're simply calling and saying that you've been following a therapeutic diet that has been really effective in managing your health. And it's important for you to stay consistent with this during your trip. So there are certain foods you can't eat, and to make sure that you have the foods that you need, you're going to be bringing food that you know is safe for you to eat. Is there a place that you can store it while you're there? You're not asking their permission to continue your diet while in their home. You're not over-explaining yourself. You are owning it and keeping it simple. This is a therapeutic diet I've been following and getting great results with in managing my health. There's certain foods I can't have, so to ensure that I have the right foods on the trip, I'm going to be bringing some foods and wanted to see if there's a safe place that I can keep them while I'm there. It's short and simple. They may be intrigued and want to ask a few questions, and if you'd like to, you can certainly share, but don't feel the need to over-explain or wait for somebody else's permission. You're owning it, you're keeping it tight and simple. Now, if you're not staying with family and friends, looking for a place that has a kitchen-friendly lodging is going to be super helpful for you. So certainly if you're staying at a hotel and there's a kitchenette option, or if they don't have that, sometimes they have portable fridges, the mini fridges. that already are in a room, or if they're not, you can talk with the concierge and possibly have one added to your room. Sometimes there's an extra fee for it, sometimes there's not. But a little tip, if you have any medication that needs to be refrigerated, you can let them know that, and oftentimes they will waive the fee if that's the case for you. So that would be the example of a hotel. Airbnbs are phenomenal options because they basically have a full kitchen setup. So you have everything that you need there. Or if you're going someplace like camping, seeing if you have an electrical hookup, because I'm going to share some tools with you that will support you in creating a mock kitchen with very limited resources. Now let's talk about that timeline leading up to your departure date. So one of the things that we know with MS, autoimmune disease, chronic illness in general, fatigue is a major symptom. So we want to do everything that we can to manage our energy leading up to our trip. The last thing that we want to do is create a mad dash at the last minute, which is going to drain our energy, increase stress, and not set us off on the right foot for our first travel day. So it's important to plan things out and space them out so that you have rest periods in between and you're going into your vacation or trip feeling good. So about 1 to 2 weeks prior to your departure date, you can start making leftovers from a dinner or make a dedicated meal that you can pop in the freezer. This is going to be helpful in 2 different scenarios. The first, my favorite, and the one that I use most often, is putting a meal in the freezer so that when I get home from my trip, I have a meal already prepared. All I need to do is defrost it. The last thing you feel like doing when you get home from a trip is having to go to the grocery store, restock everything, and prep a meal. You're worried about laundry and just catching up on all the things. So having at least 1 or 2 meals in the freezer will be such an energy saver for you. You will not regret that. The other way that you can use these meals is if you do more of an individual meal, and you could bring them in a cooler with you on your trip if you have the option to heat them up while you're on your travels. So in some cases, it can be helpful to freeze them in advance. You pop them in a cooler and you take them with you, like if you're going to an Airbnb or someplace where you would be able to warm them up. If not, keep it in the freezer and save it for when you return. Now, about a week prior, you want to take a look at any prescriptions and supplements that you have. Are any running low? And make sure that you refill any of those ones that are running low, because it can be easy just to factor out like, okay, I have a week's in advance, now I'm good. But you're not only factoring the week that you're in, you're factoring in the time that you're going to be gone, plus you need a buffer for when you get back. So depending upon how long your trip is, you want to make sure that you've accounted for that full amount of time. It's always helpful to make sure that you're placing those orders, especially if something needs to be delivered to the house. So about a week prior, refill any prescriptions and supplements so you have them ready. Now, about 2 nights prior to your trip, I want you to make sure that you are staying extra hydrated. Being properly hydrated, I always say, is the least sexy but most beneficial thing that you can do for your health. It helps every cellular function in your body function better. So you want to make sure the ideal is half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. I know that's a lot, especially if you have MS and have issues with the bladder, but you want to make sure that you are staying well hydrated. just by nature, on travel days, we're not getting in the amount of water that we typically would or that our body optimally needs. And being dehydrated, even the slightest bit, can lead to fatigue as well as constipation, neither of which are good travel buddies. So we want to make sure that we are going into our travels being extra hydrated. So the day and two prior, make sure that you're really pushing the water. Plus you're still home and have the convenience of a bathroom close by. So it's a great way to just get a little extra boost of hydration. And again, 2 nights prior, in addition to focusing on the hydration, prioritize sleep that night. The reason why I'm saying 2 nights prior is because the night before, when we think that we should be getting a good night's sleep, we have nerves and excitement and all the different feels that are going through us the night before our travels. It's just natural that we may not get the best night's sleep. But 2 nights prior, you are more relaxed and more likely to get a good night's rest. So 2 nights prior, focus on that good rest and being well hydrated. And then the day before, go through your checklist of prescriptions, supplements, foods, travel items, like whatever it is that you need. Go through that checklist and make sure that you build in time to rest. Again, not pushing your energy to the extreme the day before is so important. You want to set yourself up for success. Now let's talk about some travel tools that can help you create a mock kitchen regardless of where the road may take you. There's 3 in particular that I think can be especially helpful. The first is a portable blender. Now I know many of us following the Wahls Protocol start our day with a smoothie. We're able to get our leafy greens in there. We're able to get some deeply colored berries, some good healthy fats with either an avocado or some coconut milk. Maybe you toss some chia seeds in there to get some extra fiber. But that smoothie really sets you off on a good start to your day. And being able to continue that on your travels can be really helpful. So getting a portable blender can be a great way to do so. Now these are single serve blenders and some of them are wireless. They are actually rechargeable through a USB port and some are charged through batteries. So that can be a nice thing for you to purchase. You also, if like the NutriBullet or something like that fits in your bag, absolutely go for it. But they can be a nice thing that will allow you to have the blender with you, and then wherever your travels take you, for example, when I've stayed in a hotel, I brought my blender with me. There was a Target right behind it. I went there my first day. I got some spinach, some coconut milk, and an avocado and frozen berries. I popped them in the mini fridge, and every single morning I had my smoothie to start my day. It was very minimal work that I needed to do, but helped me stay consistent, and that's what I really appreciated. So a portable blender or bringing your NutriBullet or whatever blender you have with you. The other item that you can bring is a mini slow cooker. So have you gotten one of those slow cookers or a crock pot, and then in the middle of it, when you open up the box, you see that little mini slow cooker? It's intended to be for dips, but it's a great travel item because in there you can put, you can warm up a soup or a stew, some shredded chicken, some vegetables. There's so many different things that you can do with it. And it's not overly heavy, it's small. All you need is the electric hookup. And then the third is this one here, and this is a Hot Logic Mini. So this is a little mini oven that you can bring with you. So you just open this up here and you can see it's insulated inside. And then on the bottom is this plate here, and this is what gets hot. And there's a cord in the back that you plug in, so then you can take your item and just put it in there, zip it up, plug it in, and it will warm it up. Now, is this gonna roast vegetables at 400 degrees? No. But will it help to warm something up or keep something warm and then top it off once you get to an electric outlet? Absolutely. So this here is by Hot Logic. You can see I have not even used mine yet. This is one that I got. This one I actually think is a refurbished one. And as you can see, looks completely brand new. So none of these items are especially expensive. I think all of them, maybe like $50, each of them would be about $50 and under. So you don't have to purchase all of them again, but find the one that's most relevant for you. And quite honestly, what you end up finding is you actually save more money in the end because you're not going out to all the restaurants or grabbing the takeouts or buying all the grab and go items at the convenience store. You're getting better quality food that's supporting your health on your travels, and you actually end up saving money in the process. Okay, are you ready to dive into what food to bring? We know that planning is important. We know to look for a kitchen-friendly lodging option, talking with our family and friends, and making sure we have some handy-dandy travel tools with us. But what food are we going to be preparing? There's a few things that I can share with you. This certainly is not an extensive list. If you have some ideas, share them in the comments below so that we can keep generating more and more ideas together. But the first item that I love, I'll start off with meals because that can sometimes be the trickiest. So beyond just packing a meal and heating it up with the portable Logitech oven or Hot Logic, I always do that, or heating it up in the slow cooker or using a portable blender for a smoothie. Those are kind of like three different solutions that you have there. If you're someplace like on a plane or on a campground and you don't have a plug-in option, one of the things that I have found to be especially helpful is a meal to go by Wahls. They have these freeze-dried packs that have a chicken meal, and then they have an instant grain-free hot cereal. And all you have to do is open it up, put some hot water in it, seal it up, let it sit for a few minutes, and then that hot water helps to cook the food, the freeze-dried food, so that within a few minutes you have a hearty, substantial, safe meal to support you with your health. I did this one, the Wahls, I think it's like a savory chicken option, on a plane ride before because it was a several-hour plane ride and I knew that I was going to need a couple meals. So I brought one of these packs as a dinner. And while on the plane, I asked one of the flight attendants for a cup of hot water because many people ask for hot water for tea. So I just asked for the hot water, hold the tea, poured it in, let it sit for a few minutes. And then of course they did have some disposable utensils, but I also could have brought them with me. I was surprised at how good it actually tasted and how satisfying it was. I was truly full from that one meal. And then they do have, as I said, the grain-free cereal options. So you could do that if you needed something that was more appropriate for a breakfast. And you can bring like a little bag of berries with you, so you can add that in. You could always add in some shredded almonds or whatever's most appealing to you. So those instant freeze-dried meals are fantastic when you have no access to an electrical outlet or cooking options. The other thing that you can do is just bring, I mentioned that on that plane ride, it was a longer plane ride. I think I was flying out to Hawaii to visit some family at the time. So I needed multiple meals, and you can only have so many of the chicken meals in a day. So one of them was that freeze-dried meal. The other one, I brought a salad. Now, I typically will make a salad at home for a plane ride and put it in a Ziploc bag. And I may either add some chicken in it at the time if I know I'm going to be having it pretty quickly, or I could always do like a turkey stick or like jerky or something like that, and you could add that in for some protein. But what I like about the Ziploc bag is there's no equipment or no packaging that I am carrying around afterwards or that I need to worry about washing. I have my salad, I eat it out of the bag, and then I toss it and I am done. So there are certainly other travel salad containers that you can get. They have some that look like more of like a tumbler. They have some that are like in a circular plate, lots of different options, but don't forget that a salad is a great travel tool or meal as well. And then of course, if you are trying to grab something at a restaurant or to-go option, salads tend to be the safest options there. Just be mindful if you're getting any salad dressings out, because that's where they have the poorer quality oil, and they can have gluten and dairy in them. So beware of any salad dressings that you're having out. And then another option for you is to have a thermos of some soup. So you can make some soup ahead of time and bring that with you. That would not work, obviously, if you are trying to do that as a carry-on for a plane ride. Because it's liquid. So that would not work in that case. But if you're going on a road trip, if you're going camping, anything in that realm, a thermos would be a great option for you. So any of the freeze-dried packs, a salad in any type of container that suits you, or soup in a thermos, or like I said, any of those previously heated options. Let's dive into some snack options now, shall we? Now, I mentioned with that salad that I may put some, to get a boost of protein, I may put a little bit of a turkey stick or jerky or something like that in there, because it's just so portable and easy to travel with. These right here are my favorite protein sticks on the go. So you can see this one here. This is Paleo Valley beef stick made with 100% grass-fed beef. They are gluten-free, and I absolutely love these guys here. So this is something that I would bring to add to a salad, or quite honestly, I would use this just as a snack. I often have this with an apple and I'm good to go. If you don't like this for whatever reason, there are plenty other jerky options out there. Just be sure you're reading the ingredients. And if you wanted a non-meat option, there are even mushroom jerkies out there that you can look for. So definitely explore the jerky options for you to have some good protein-based snacks. And then you could also look at a lot of the nuts, nut butter. You can grab those individual packs of nut butter, have that with an apple or a banana or a celery. There's individual guacamole packs that I love bringing because I could add them to a salad to kind of give it some moisture in place of some dressing. Or I could have a little bag of baby carrots and the guacamole. Guacamole gives you a good source of healthy fat, so it's going to help you feel satiated. And then when you're adding the baby carrots to it, you're getting your deeply color in there too. So lots of good benefits from it. So you have the guacamole pack. If you tolerate hummus, you could add that in as well. I know not everybody tolerates that well, but if you do, that's certainly an option. The guacamole, the nut butter, like I said, with an apple, celery, banana, or plain, or you could just do a bag of nuts. So those are all things that you could toss in your bag and have as a small snack. If you are open to bringing some homemade snacks with you, energy bites are fantastic. Those little energy balls that you can make with dates, coconut oil, shredded coconuts, nuts, seeds, so many different recipes. And you can always pop them in the freezer beforehand so they stay nice and cold. You don't need to eat them frozen, but I think freezing them ahead of time if you're going to be traveling just gives them a little bit extra hold during your travels. Or if you didn't have time to make anything, one of the things I love in place of a sweet is coconut rolled dates. So you can typically buy them in the bulk food section of a grocery store, and they have the dates, which are super high in fiber, help you go to the bathroom as well, and have the shredded coconut on the outside of them, so that can help with the blood sugar spike. Just be aware they are sweet. They are nature's candy, so you want to be mindful not to have too many in one sitting. And if you're looking for a beverage option or a non-blender smoothie option, this right here can be especially helpful. This is Paleo Valley's Organic Super Greens. So it's organic, gluten-free, non-GMO, raw, all the good things that we want. Organic lemonade with a touch of mint. This can be a great option for you to get some of those leafy greens and some of your veggies in on the road. I typically wouldn't rely on this on a daily basis, but when I'm traveling and I have limited options, it's a great thing to hold me over. It tastes really good, and I just feel like I'm helping to get a boost of nutrients while on the road. So let's wrap up with what this could look like as a typical day of full meals on the road. Starting with breakfast. If you have the option to make a smoothie with a portable blender, I always recommend that as a great way to start your day. If that's not an option, I would go with the instant grain-free hot cereal from Wahls and add in either some almonds or some mixed berries, stir that up, and I probably would have this with a little bit of water on the side. So I'm getting my veggies and I'm getting a satisfying breakfast there. So that would be breakfast. As a mid-morning snack, I could have some carrots with a little guacamole pack. And then for lunch, I would have a salad, a little travel salad with one of my Paleo Valley sticks, or whatever your preferred version of jerky is. You could even do a canned thing of tuna or a canned salmon. There's lots of ways that you can get a boost of protein in there. And adding a slice of avocado will help to add some substance and fat to it as well. In the afternoon, you could do an apple with some nut butter. And then for dinner, I could either do the Wahls Paleo Meal to Go, that savory chicken option, if I had no resources at all. If I was trying to grab something either through room service or at a restaurant, like let's say that it's a bar restaurant, the options are pretty limited. I would likely grab a bunless burger with a side of veggies and maybe have some avocado, and if depending upon the quality of the bacon, I might even do a slice of bacon on there. And then for an evening snack, I could do some coconut chips. You can get like bare coconut chips, and they're just shredded larger strips of coconut, and they are a tasty little thing to munch on. So that could be a typical day of full meals and snacks on the road, and making sure that there is no cross-contamination. It's all food that is safe for you to enjoy and to feel good, most importantly, on your travels. I hope that through this video, you were able to find a few tips to travel with confidence while following the Wahls Protocol, or whatever your therapeutic diet is. Like I said, I'm certainly not going to make the assumption that I've listed any and all options possible. So I want to hear from you too. Post below what you find to be especially helpful when traveling on the road while managing your food restrictions. And of course, if you would like to learn more, you can head over to lessfarmmooretable.com for more free resources.